So good morning. We're rounding out our last CTC Sun ATC live stream sessions this morning, and I don't know about you, I am a Prime user. It doesn't sound very healthy, does it? But I am. And I think you're going to find that this next session is a very special one, not just with who's here presenting, but also about the progress that we've seen at Amazon and Prime. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Deepa and Josh Mealy. They'll be speaking to us on the topic, audio description at Prime Video.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It is such a pleasure to be here and talk about one of my major passions, audio description and accessible video with Deepa. So my name is Josh Mealy. I am a principal researcher in accessibility at Amazon. It is my privilege to work across a bunch of different groups. I do a lot of work in devices, but today I'm going to be talking about, with Deepa, my partnership in audio description and supporting accessible video. Deepa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, Josh. My name is Deepa Balakrishnan. I lead product for accessibility, content accessibility at Prime Video. And over the last couple of years, I've been fortunate to learn from and work with Josh. And I'm super happy to share our learnings from our journey here with everyone today.
So we're going to cover some basics first, just so that we're all kind of grounded in what we're talking about. Audio description at Prime Video is a huge and exciting job. So accessibility of video really requires that we deliver high quality audio description and of course captions, but today we're going to be focusing on audio description. And I just want to say a few words about, just in case anybody wandered into this session by accident, I'll say a few words about what audio description is. Essentially, it is an accessibility tool that allows people who can't see the screen to know what's going on. It's analogous to captions. It's sort of the flip side of captions, whereas captions make the audio parts of a program available for people who can't hear the audio. Video description makes the visual parts of the program accessible for people who can't see the screen. And it's done with an additional narration track that gets added to the video and is interspersed with the existing audio in the program. So Amazon MGM Studios, we produce content, and of course the content that we produce we produce it in 12 languages, and we provide audio description, human narrated audio description in all 12 of those languages. We also have a large catalog of material that is produced by others, and whenever we incorporate content that we didn't make, we always ask for any audio description assets that are associated with it. And so, we're doing our best to get whatever audio description is already out there to include with the content for our customers who need audio description. However, that audio description, even though we ask for it, it doesn't always accompany the original content. And so we're faced with this challenge. How do we, in Prime Video at Amazon and MGM Studios, make sure that the audio description that we are delivering in our streamed content is as ubiquitous and available as captions? And of course, we want to make sure that it is at the highest quality level and available to customers all over the world. This is a significant challenge, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So if we go to our slide 3, maybe you were worried that I wasn't going to talk about AI. Have no fear, we will talk about AI. So we're going to be really talking about using AI, how we use AI to sort of accelerate our production of accessible content, accessible video in Prime Video. So of course we use traditional and generative AI to better help us understand our content and our customers. And that that also basically, our various techniques allow us to serve up the right content to the right customers with the right accessibility. We want to make sure that people are getting the video in the way that is best suited to their needs. And one example of how we do that is our use of text-to-speech based audio description. This is particularly useful in adding audio description to our very large back catalog of content that does not already include human-generated, human-narrated audio description. So the text-to-speech is a way of scaling that kind of work. And today, really, what we're going to do is share a couple of other ways in how AI is helping us provide better accessibility to Prime Video content. So, Deepa, why don't you talk about the next slide?
Sure, Josh. So text-to-speech audio description, as Josh mentioned, we've got hundreds of thousands of titles, and making it as available with audio descriptions as there are captions on it is a large job. And we need to fundamentally rethink how the production workflow works. And Josh gave a little bit of introduction to what that asset is, but creating it actually requires a variety of skill sets and people. It's a multi-stage process. There's someone who creates the script, there's someone who voices it, there's recording, and then there's mixing. So the process is time-taking, and if we want to innovate on the production workflow, the first thing that we sort of thought about was creating an authoring tool. And the audio description authoring tool helps the script writers write, generate, and listen to what they've written within the context of the video in just a matter of hours by using text-to-speech voicing. In an alternate universe, this would have taken all the way going into the studio, bringing up the track, getting it back. And what happens is when you catch errors at later stages of the process, this just has re-recording, remixing, et cetera. And for us to be able to scale coverage, this innovation sort of helped us bring content to customers faster. And did it work? Yes. Prime Video now has the largest audio description library among online streamers. This is per the data from the audio description project. While that sounds very happy, to me, it's a reminder of how much work is actually left for us in creating a world where we have as much audio description as captions are in making content accessible. As we started this project, the first thing that a product manager would sort of like think about is, am I doing the right thing for the customer, and am I working to make sure that I meet the customer's need? So all of last year, we spent time with customers. We did research with 99 blind and visually impaired participants. And some of the insights that we got in our journey is what we want to share today. The first thing is that we need a very, very good script, a clear, concise script that sort of translates what's happening on screen to text in a timely way so it's voiced, is critical to have an immersive experience. The second part of the three-stage process, audio mixing, needs to be seamless. It cannot be that you're in a really sad scene and you get like a sudden, or a scary scene where everything's really quiet, and you have this really loud voiceover that just jerks you out of that scene and back into reality that you were trying to escape from. And what we heard from customers was poor voice quality would make 37% of them stop watching. That is fairly large. It means voice is important. But over 70% of people told us that if it's a bad script or if it's poor audio mixing, it would actually make them stop. And that's a much larger number. And without the good scripting and mixing, even the best voice that we put on it is not really going to work. So that brings us back to the question, right? Is TTS an enabler, and what is it doing for customers? Customers did tell us that they are more likely to enjoy content which has human-narrated audio descriptions. And content with text-to-speech descriptions had lower satisfaction than human-narrated. But 80% of participants told us that they will watch audio descriptions with text-to-speech voiced if human-narrated AD is not available. And that gives us the confidence that text-to-speech voicing is an enabler for customers, although there's scope for improvement in how we do the mixing and how do we sort of like get the right script in place. Josh, do you have thoughts to share?
Yeah, I think all of these, to underscore what Deepa is saying about the sort of relative importance of the three different components, the voicing, the scripting, and the mixing of audio description. And a lot of the discussion that that we may hear about text-to-speech based audio description is kind of focused on the speech quality and the voice, the quality of the voice of TTS and how it's jarring. And I think we can all agree that we're sort of moving in a direction where the voicing, the difference between human narration, human voices, and text-to-speech voices is going to get smaller and smaller. And so the importance of focusing on high-quality scripts is really where we need to be paying attention, and how to be able to deliver high-quality scripting and high-quality mixing at scale so that we can, again, make audio description as ubiquitous as captioning. Thank you.
So what did we do with all of these insights? So over the last year, we introduced neural TTS voices, and we created ways for people who are creating the scripts to increase the naturalness of what was coming out. And this had pieces where, for example, the TTS may be pronouncing proper names incorrectly, or and we specifically in cinema, we have like really interesting names at times. And we needed to give them levers and ways in which they could control that naturalness. We also switched the source and target of the quality of our assets that we were using for our base text-to-speech version, where we took the highest quality source assets and we adjusted and brought the outputs to surround sound as well. And this was something we really heard loud and strong from our customers, that the quality of audio description and making sure it's in surround sound 5.1 and it cannot just be stereo. And the last innovation, which also took the longest development, was how do we make these transitions dynamic, and how do we look at what's happening in the scene, and look is, it needs to be done by a machine at scale. How do we do that based on scene-specific parameters and identify how do we create that seamless transition? And we looked at loudness and volume signals and figured out patterns by which we could sort of create a scene-based mix. And we tested that through the year, and it's been, I'll run through the samples in a bit, but the new approach actually helped us deliver those seamless transitions and the high output quality that we wanted, and got us to a place where customer satisfaction with what we were sort of producing increased materially.
So in other words, one of the things that we're really focusing on is an automated audio mixing process that allows us to get a good mix between audio description and the original soundtrack, regardless of how the person is, how our customer is viewing it, whether it's 5.1 or various formats for theater, and of course, so we're going to be playing you 3 different examples. They're all the same. They're all the same clip from one of our offerings, the Rings of Power. I don't know how many of you, are there any Rings of Power fans in here? Woo!
Yay!
All right. So, so this is just a short clip that shows, that is intended to highlight the audio mixing that we were doing and the audio mixing that we are now doing automatically.
So the first clip is actually the human-narrated audio description. As Josh mentioned, we do human-narrated AD, and these clips are experiments that we were playing with to see how close we could get to the human-narrated AD. So the first example is this one here.
We said it would be over quickly. But the war left Middle Earth in ruin
On a battlefield.
and would last centuries.
Now a young woman, Galadriel finds a discarded helmet on a corpse-strewn battlefield. Two figures pass, bearing a casualty on a litter. The view recedes, taking in the devastation around them. Galadriel adds the helmet to a mound of helmets, which dwarfs her with its height.
Now, we learned many words for death.
So that was human voiced and human mixed. So that's the original one that if you went to Prime Video and watched Rings of Power with audio description in English, that's what you would hear.
The base version of what we started the year with is this one here.
We said it would be over quickly. But the war left Middle Earth in ruin
On a battlefield.
and would last centuries.
Now a young woman, Galadriel finds a discarded helmet on a corpse-strewn battlefield. Two figures pass, bearing a casualty on a litter. The view recedes, taking in the devastation around them. Galadriel adds the helmet to a mound of helmets which dwarfs her with its height.
Now, we learned many words for death.
So can I just point out the things
Yes.
instead of waiting till the end?
Yep.
So this one is a text-to-speech narration, so machine-generated voicing, and it is our earlier automated mixing process. And I think some of you who aren't audio obsessed might not have noticed, but it's actually pretty easy to note that the transitions, the changing of the background audio volume is really pronounced and a little bit distracting. The sound level of the music kind of keeps going up and down pretty radically, and the sound volume overall is hard to manage. So I'll talk about the customer feedback after you hear the other one.
So this is the scene listing.
They said it would be over quickly. But the war left Middle Earth in ruin
On a battlefield.
and would last centuries.
Now a young woman, Galadriel finds a discarded helmet on a corpse-strewn battlefield. Two figures pass, bearing a casualty on a litter. The view recedes, taking in the devastation around them. Galadriel adds the helmet to a mound of helmets which dwarfs her with its height.
Now, we learned many words for death.
So that is using our current automated mixing approach. We call it scene-based mixing, and I think some of you may have noticed, but I certainly noticed, and our customers have noticed, that this new approach has some significant improvements in the fluctuations in the background audio. It's much less distracting, and the overall mix is much more immersive and enjoyable and also much closer to the original non-described audio soundtrack. The things that I think we want to sort of point out about this are, I often talk about audio description as being like a server at a really nice restaurant. If you are distracted by your server should be there when you need them and not when you don't. They shouldn't be talking to you a lot, distracting you from your meal. They should be there to help you enjoy your restaurant experience, and they should not be distracting you from what you're there for. Audio description is really similar in that as soon as you start noticing the audio description, you're probably doing something wrong. So what we wanted to do with just this one single part of our audio description efforts is to minimize the distractions that people experience. We don't want people to say, well, why is the sound bouncing up and down so much? Why is the audio so so low? Why am I not able to get this audio description soundtrack to play properly on my my 7.1 or whatever sound system? So again, we're trying to create an experience for our customers who use audio description that is as high quality as possible. And so the mixing is just one of the components, as we discussed. So we've got scripting, voicing, and mixing. And so we've just played you 3 different examples of how, where we're headed in our automated mixing process to scale audio description for our large back catalog.
I think that's a lovely analogy, right? Like if you get feedback on the technical quality of your audio descriptions, then there's definitely something wrong. And that's not what we would want. And each stage of the improvement that we've done is something where we've taken a journey that's in collaboration with our customers, and every change has been tested through, and we've worked with feedback providers, both internal and external to Amazon, before we sort of landed at where we did get here.
So we do have a bunch of customer quotes, and I just, why don't we read the customer quotes out loud so that people can hear them, and then I'll talk a little bit about the collaborations, our approach to collaborative audio description improvement.
Sure. Whenever we send something off into the wild, we end up looking to see what customers have to say about it. Sorry, that was not what I wanted to do. There. So we had feedback which said, well, for one thing, the ducking is extremely minimal. The bad compression is gone. A lot of stuff is being upgraded to support Dolby, and they seem to be upgrading old movies as well. We took on the effort to redo the entire catalog, which we had created with the new tech, and it was great to see that customers are noticing it and are vocal about it.
So in addition to our, we have Amazonians, folks who work at Amazon who are avid audio description users, and of course we get plenty of feedback from inside Amazon, but the larger world has there are a lot of committed audio description consumers and aficionados out there. And we really are, at Amazon, we talk about developing with our customers, not for our customers. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to be as collaborative and as open to listening to and learning from our customers as possible. So we're not going to say exactly how we're doing that, but before we close, we'll give you a way to reach out to us if you have feedback. And the important thing to note is that we understand that this is a product that is important to people, that impacts the quality of people's lives, and it is our job to make sure that our audio description is as high quality as it can possibly be and as ubiquitous as it can possibly be. So why don't we go to our closing slide?
Done, Josh.
And I'll just sort of close by saying, at Amazon, we like to say it is always day one, by which we mean we know that we can always make improvements. We are at the beginning of our audio description journey at Prime Video, and we want to acknowledge that there is a long way to go, and we want to invite you to come on that journey with us. The first thing that I want to say is that we're committed to ensuring high quality scripts, and that's where we're headed. Our current focus is on high quality scripting and managing, making sure that those scripts are delivered at the highest quality we can attain. We're also planning to continue to improve text-to-speech audio description. The quality of the text-to-speech is only going to get better, and we're committed to that. And of course, we're committed to continuing to listen to and learn from our customers with disabilities all over the world who use audio description and really rely on us to deliver high quality audio description. If you are interested in reaching out to us, giving us any feedback on our audio description, or whether it's in general or specific, there's an email address. It's audio-description-feedback@amazon.com. I'll say it again, it's audio-description-feedback@amazon.com. And we also have a great deal of information about Amazon accessibility of all types, including Prime Video, at amazon.com/accessibility. Do you want to close this out?
Sure. So we are also there at the booth for the next couple of days. We are not doing Q&A here, but we'll be happy to chat with folks and understand what feedback you have for us. Feedback is a gift. It's what helps us get our product better and better. So we're looking forward to hearing from everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, thanks very much, Josh, and thank you, Deepa, too. It was a very insightful and hopeful. I think we're seeing, as time goes forward, we're getting much better at developing descriptive video and audio and text scripts. So well, congratulations to Amazon for that progress, and let's support their continued effort and work.